You want to stand out in the crowd? Do you want to be different? Do you want your agency to be the one that they pick among the thousands of agents that are out there? Well, there's lots of ways to do that. And a very powerful way is the power of saying thank you. It is critically important that you are grateful to your clients or customers that sign up with you. This is one of those things that gets overlooked. We work so hard to bring in that new business that we may just forget to do something that could be super, super simple, or create these processes that can be super simple to bring a greater level of retention and keep these folks in your herd for longer. Because the more that we increase the retention, the less that we have to write to break even, and more of what we write becomes growth. And the more we grow, the quicker we get to that point where we can either sell the thing, take the foot off the gas, start collecting. So there's lots of different ways, and people have different outcomes for their agency. Growth is to make sure you're writing business and to plug that leaky bucket, right? That hole in the leaky bucket is where we can find some answers here. Such an important story, right? The power of saying thank you and the power of writing that thank you down in a card and sending it out. We can definitely create an environment and a process where this occurs. We can have our sales folks every morning. The first thing they do after your sales meeting is write out their thank you cards to whoever purchased yesterday. Now, if they're selling one or two a day, this isn't a lot, right? Or you could lump it all into 1 week, wait till the end of the week, they send it on Friday. Whatever you want to do to create that process, really, really important process. Let me explain the counter, the opposite, right? The jewelry place. That probably went from a lifetime value of $100 to $200 to a lifetime value of well in the 5 digits. Probably spent more. So how did he do that? He did it with that thank you card. He did it by following up, like those things I talked about. But let me talk about the opposite effect. You feel that the place who earned your business actually cares, right? That they're grateful. Because without gratitude, who cares? If they're not grateful that I made the decision to work with them for whatever it is. So I did that. I started an LLC, invested in 2 properties in Colorado, in Durango, in Ski Town, right outside of Purgatory, and 2 beautiful condos for Airbnb. But the process to purchasing these 2 condos, which were new builds, the process leading up to closing, I worked with obviously a realtor and a lender, and we're talking about $1.5 million purchase for these 2 condos, with financed, of course. No email, no call, and no personal thank you card from the realtor. If the realtor on the buying side made 2.5% off of $1.5 million, they took down a pretty hefty commission. He pulled down a $37,500 check when those things closed. I think it was on the builder side. Maybe they were running out of money. I have other lenders I've worked with who have showed gratitude, and I won't consider working with the one who wasn't grateful versus the one that was. I wouldn't, right? So real important, apply that to the business as we bring people in that we're not making a ton off of, but for them, right? I know that you write a new household, maybe we're making $100 a year, $200 a year, it's a lot of money coming out of their pocket. And for them, there's a high likelihood that they would be grateful to see us show gratitude, right? And what does that earn from them? I think that earns loyalty. If you could just move your folks from renewing 1 extra time than they would have just by extending some gratitude, that can have a big impact on your retention. Some other ideas that you can throw in there. We can keep track of customers' birthdays, their spouses, significant others' birthdays, and we can send something out. Now, is this going to have a huge effect, or is it going to be a big needle mover? Maybe, maybe not. You can get creative, put a QR code in there that is some kind of referral program. Personalized letters. We could do client appreciation events. I know that a lot of carriers are gonna help to sponsor some of those events. So something to talk about with your carrier. So those are some great ideas that we can use to incorporate gratitude into our business. That is another playbook. I'm Craig Pretzinger. Make sure to follow us on all of the podcast platforms. And if you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Thanks. I'll see you soon.